warehouse of random, I wouldn't say useless, but just random stuff.
And you're going to Chili's to sit down with the fam, and a goddamn robot pulls up and tries to serve you. You're like, excuse me. I'd like to be a gallon of milk that expires, maybe the 23rd, the 24th, instead of, maybe the 15th, the 16th. You know what I'm saying?
What is up, everybody? Welcome back. If you're new, welcome. My name would be Evan. You can call me E, Ev, Red, Captain Redbeard, Big Red Bastard, Red Rob Zombie, Son of Ritz. Fuck, we go by a whole bunch of names. But welcome, everybody. I know, off rip, I know this is not a new environment or like multiple people or like a Discord call. I know. We did. So yesterday, I had yesterday and today off. So yesterday, went up to the mountain with the boys, Pat, Stancy, Cargo. So went up there. Ooh, excuse me. We went up there, and the plan was to record a podcast up there and record a WeedTube video, and then I'd upload those yesterday, edit them, upload them, whatever. Today, I know it is currently, it is 6 p.m. on Thursday, August 1st. So this video will be uploaded today, a day late. This video will be uploaded, but the reason why we're late, because I said I think in last week's episode or the week before, I'm shooting for Wednesday uploads. I like middle of the week uploads. So I wanted to record shit yesterday and get that done. But in about the 4 or 5 hours that we spent up there on the mountain, we had maybe an hour's worth of recording between like all the different. The crazy thing is like we didn't even really do anything up there, but we spent like all day up there. So, and I don't even have the recordings. Pat has the recordings because we recorded on his phone because he has like a way newer iPhone than this because it's just an iPhone 8. So he has like a way newer iPhone. So he was recording what little bit we did record. So I was like, all right, yeah, that's a wash. So I wanted to, I wanted to go back up to the mountain today and basically redo what we did yesterday, today. But I was so tired. I could not give a fuck. I've been working. Oh, excuse me. Ugh, fuck. I've been working for 9 days in a row up until yesterday. So I've been working every single day since Monday of last week up until Tuesday of this week. So worked for 9 fucking days in a row, and it was cancer and horrible. And I've applied to 500 fucking jobs, and I hope just a single one of them is like, you know what, E, we got you. Because yeah, 9 days in a row, heinous. I was originally scheduled for 10. I was originally scheduled for 10 days in a row. Then when I found out I was supposed to work, because it was originally 6 days in a row. So I was like, all right, that's an L, but I understand, people are on vacation, doctor's appointments, whatever. So I was like, I've done that before. I can work 6 days in a row. So I already knew I was working from Monday to Saturday every day. I was like, all right, whatever. Schedules come out every Friday to find out the next week what you're working Sunday through Saturday or whatever, right? So then Friday comes around, look at the schedule, and I see they have me working every day until Thursday, having Thursday off, then working Friday, then having Saturday off. And I was like, oh, hell no. That is 10 fucking days in a row. I haven't worked this many days in a row since the holiday rush of like last year, or I think even the year before, Like it's the fucking end of July. Today's the first day of August. There's no goddamn reason why me, a retail employee working at a shitter grocery store, should be working for 9 fucking days in a row. I had to fight him not to work 10 days in a row because apparently the person, horrible fucking management. So I bring up to management in the first place. I'm like, hey, you guys have me scheduled for 10 fucking days in a row. I can't do that. I can't. It's too much. I can't do it. So then they're like, all right, well, who else can work that day? So then I basically do their job. I give them a list. I'm like, this person's not working, this person's not working, this person's not working, this person's not working. I want to work this day or this day. They even told me, they're like, oh, yeah, my bad, chief. Because, of course, Big Boss Man, he's out of town for the next week or whatever. So somehow, some way, they end up, oopsies, we scheduled E to work 10 fucking days in a row. So then they're like, oh, my B. So then they're like, all right, well, who's not working that day or who can work that day? And I was like, oh my God, fucking these people. So then I tell them these people that can work. And they're like, because I was telling them, like, I know other people want hours because they're getting real nitpicky, corporate and whatever is getting nitpicky with the labor and the hours or whatever the fuck. So I'm like, I know these people don't want to work or need to work more, want to work more. I'm not trying to work this many hours. I've been working too much for my own liking the past couple of weeks. Like, I don't give it to these people that actually have more important shit to pay for. I'm thankfully at the end of my bills having to pay for all these big expenses monthly. So give it to somebody else who still has shit, right? So then they're like, all right, bet, we got you. So then a couple days goes by. I'm like, all right, cool. They had me sign a piece of paper. Basically, this person agrees to work for this person, right? So I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, thanks for offering. It was at home. The homie Patrick was going to work for me on Wednesday. Yeah, on Wednesday, yesterday. He was going to work for me on Wednesday. So I was like, all right, bet, cool. I appreciate you, dog, because that would have been 10 days in a row. Not like 9's necessarily any better, but fuck, it sure beats 10, I guess. So then, come to find out, I think Tuesday. So that was Saturday. I talked to management. Like Friday or Saturday, I talked to management. They squared away, or at least I think so. Then come to find out on Saturday, new management. Well, not new, but somebody else who had been out for like 2 weeks or something like that on vacation. They had just come back that Tuesday. I've been working for 9 days in a row. They came back that Tuesday, and just in passing, we're like, oh yeah, no, that can't work out. We can't sign off on that. And I was like, oh, well, tough titties, because I'm not working tomorrow. And they're like, yeah, we'll talk to you later about it. Never talks to me later about it. Next thing I know, they just fucking leave, like clock out and leave. I'm like, I hope these motherfuckers don't expect E to come in tomorrow, because I'm not coming in tomorrow. I'm not working. It's not my responsibility to find people to work, okay? That is quite literally half your job as management, especially when it comes to scheduling. There's no reason why some random grocery store shitter should be working 9 fucking days in a row or 10 fucking days in a row. There's no point to it. One of my shifts was literally a 4-hour shift from 8 in the morning till noon, and I just fucking stood there for the whole 4 hours at the customer service desk helping whatever customers came in. The person I was working with that morning didn't even know that I was coming in. They're like, oh, I thought I was going to be alone today. Because usually you have a morning person, sometimes a mid person, and then the closing person. The morning person didn't even know I was going to fucking be there with them to work that morning. Also, keep in mind, the day before that I worked, I think it was day like 6 or something like that, that was that cunty shift. Literally the day before that, I was a normal, like 1 to 8:30 or a 12, whatever, like my normal closing position. So then randomly this day, they're like, yeah, you come in, work 8 to 12, which is a shift that you never work, ever. Work in 8 to 12, be a glorified fucking doorbell. And yeah, that'll be day like 6 or 7 of your 10 days in a row that you're expected to work. And like I told management, I was pissed off. I told management when I was talking to them about the like scheduling and stuff like that, is like, dude, it's so pointless to schedule me for a 4-hour 8 to noon shift. I literally didn't need to be there. It's actually quite crazy to see technology literally replace you, because a fucking doorbell, a literal ding dong doorbell, could have done my job, because all I do and the doorbell do is the same fucking thing. So it's either E stands there and they bitch about labor, paying E for 4 hours to stand at a fucking customer service desk and wipe it down when people aren't there, help people when they are there. Or you could have one person who's already scheduled to work a majority of the morning put out a fucking doorbell that notifies them in the cash office that somebody needs help at the service desk. I'm still pissed off about that, bro. They had me working 10 days in a row, or wanted me to work 10 days in a row, And one of these shifts is just 8 to 12. The person I'm working with didn't even know I was going to be there. I literally helped maybe 10 people in the span of 4 hours. Waste of everybody's time. Waste of everybody's time. I could have had that day off. Y'all could have been better at fucking management and just given E that day off instead of making him work 10 days in theory, then supposedly help him only work 9, then right before turn out, oh, actually, that person can't work your shift. GG's. Like, that's one of the biggest things that's been really getting to me is the lack of professionalism when it comes to like scheduling and whatever the fuck. It is. I had to fight, I had to pull teeth and nails months ago, earlier in the year, when I took shit off. Like, I don't even know how many months in advance. Like, I knew that I had this event going on for months. So I took it off months in advance. And I still had to fight with management up until the date of when it was happening. And I had to tell them, like, motherfucker, I literally took this off like 6 months ago. It's not, you can go look. You can see when the time I filed for that time off was, and then that time off I'm requesting for. I took that shit off, requested it 6 months in advance. So it's not my responsibility or my fault that y'all motherfuckers aren't on top of your shit and aren't doing a main part of your job. If you aren't there micromanaging the people there and making sure that this person's doing this and that person's doing that and that person's doing that, you make a fucking schedule. I should not be the one to make the schedule for myself. And that's the other thing that really pissed me off. This week, I don't know if it was during this 9 days because it fucks with my time perception or if it was before the 9 days, but they come to me, they tell me, all right, E, yeah, I think it was part of the 9 days. They're like, all right, E, it was the part of the 9 days. Like, all right, E, you're going to make your own schedule, but the schedule selection or the hours are by pecking order, by rank. So motherfuckers who have spent 40 years at the company, they'll get to pick their hours first, and then eventually the schedule will float down to you, and then you pick what little remaining scraps are to work. I've been working at this point when they wanted me to do this for almost 2 years. I've never once in almost now still 2 years of working here have they ever told me to make my own schedule. It's always been I work in a department, they come out with a schedule every week, I look at the schedule, that's when I work. Unless I request time off, that's how that shit works. So then they come to me and they're like, nah, E, you're going to make your own schedule. You're going to pick your own hours instead of us telling you. So then I get the trickle down shitternomics paper, look at the paper. What are all the shifts left? Either closing 2 to 10, which I'd rather gouge my fucking eyes out, or a whole bunch of mid shifts. And what I mean is like fucking 11 to 5. So then I was like, all right, well, I don't want to close 2 to 10s. Those are part of the reason why I want to quit and just walk out on this job. So don't want to be working those for the majority of the week. So I patched together roughly from Tuesday to Saturday, 5 days or whatever, or however long that is. Yeah, Tuesday to Saturday, basically all 11 to 5, except one being like 12:45 to whatever, right? Give them a schedule, come back. Then management comes to me at the beginning of the next week and they're like, that's when the story starts like, oh, E, actually, you're going to be working 6 days this week. We're having them working Monday through Saturday because of blah, 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 blah. I was like, all right, well, that's not the worst. I mean, sure, I could. Do I want to do that? No. And then I look, the schedule comes out and I look, 2 days. 2 days of the entire that I picked were the actual shift that I wanted to work. All the other days were changed for me to different hours. So I'm like, why the fuck did you guys ask me to make my schedule and pick my hours when y'all were just going to tell me when I was going to work anyway? I picked Tuesday through Saturday, primarily 11 to 5, and I get the schedule back. It's like, nah, E, you're working Monday through Saturday, and you're going to get 2 of those shifts you picked. Everything else is going to be closed. Oh, and by the way, one of those shifts, 2 to 10, shitter. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Why? And I asked management at the time this happened, I'm like, why did you guys ask me to make a schedule if you guys were just going to give me a schedule to begin with? I don't pick my own schedule. And that was, last week or the week before. Like, I'm just baffled. So yeah, this Friday, I didn't pick my fucking schedule. I didn't pick my hours. And I see what it is. And they're like, yeah, you're working still from Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Then you're Wednesday. Then you're off Thursday. Working Friday, off Saturday. And I was like, oh, hell no. I am not working 10 fucking days. So I don't know what is so hard about it. And it's crazy because the person, and this is another L on management, the person that they got to replace me to cover my shift wasn't even a person that I had told them would be available to work. So they make E look at the fucking schedule, find out who's not working, who could be available to work. Then I tell those people a list of half a dozen people and also other people that want work by name. And then they picked this motherfucker who I didn't even bring up. Not to say that it's because of E, whatever. But it's like, motherfucker, you asked me who could work. And then you pick somebody who can't work my shift. So then you act like it's my responsibility and my fault that I have to then. Like, no, I spoke with management 3 days before this happening. The person I spoke to in management hasn't told me anything about what you're telling me. And then you're coming off vacation, off fucking around for 2 weeks, coming saying, no, not doing it. Nope, not doing it. And then we don't talk about it, and then you just leave. So, GG's, I didn't go to work tomorrow because I worked it out with management. I was told by them, and I even thanked management and told them how much it meant to me to not have to work that shift. And that shift also, by the way, was another cunty, pointless little shift. Basically 5 to close, 5 to 10. It's like, motherfucker, you don't need me to come in from 5 to 10 p.m. on my last day. Jesus Christ, on fucking Monday. Yeah, Monday, I worked close 2 to 10, the full 8 hours. Like, I don't. It's just getting disrespectful at this point. It is honestly getting disrespectful at this point. The way they're treating the hours, and then they turn around and act like, oh, well, we can't do this because of labor, and oh, we can't sending other people home early, like an hour early or whatever. It's like, dude, why the fuck are you scheduling me for stupid, pointless fucking 4-hour shifts that can get replaced by a fucking button? Like, what are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here? So I'm just viciously and expeditiously been applying to all kinds of different bullshit. Still waiting on the heating and cooling. That's the primary pivot. But right now, it's up in the air. Like, my mom asked them recently what an ETA was, and even they didn't know. So that's going to be the primary pivot. And, like, the career we go into is just trades and blue collar shit like that. But for the time being, I can't. Like, every day that I spend at this job takes more and more and more from me that I can't. Every month I kept telling myself I'm not going to be here by this time, and I'm fucking here, bro. It is August and I work tomorrow. I'm so upset with myself and disappointed because when this fucking year started in January, I was like, all right, from January till March, I'm gonna grind, we'll work, and we'll save up money for about 3 months. We'll quit, boom, be done with it, move on. Then my birthday's late April. Then April comes around. I'm like, all right, bet. We haven't saved up any money. Let's grind, save up money. Let's be done by the time it's my birthday. That happens. He's got $20 in his bank account. It's the week of his birthday. I'm like, fuck, bro. All right. I basically just keep kicking the can. And it's like, dude, I don't want to be here. I can't be here. But the fact that I don't have a choice, and also, it's not just E. It was a breath of fresh air. I was watching a video on YouTube. Holy fuck, it's actually pretty sinister. There's a whole bunch of ghost jobs, ghost postings. So basically, all these online, it's not just E. It's actually objectively really hard to get a job right now, and a big part of the reason why is because a lot of these companies and a lot of these people that are looking for people or whatever, they leave up applications or they leave up postings for jobs that have already been filled or don't even exist. So there's a whole, but you go on Indeed or all these things and you think you're applying to all these different kinds of jobs. In reality, it goes fucking nowhere. It goes to these email boxes that nobody ever reads. It goes nowhere. So it's not just E, because I'm like, bro, I am having such a hard fucking time trying to find something else. Like, it's actually ridiculous how hard I'm applying to so many different kinds of jobs, not shit that's not even in my field or shit that I've been doing. I'm applying doing manual labor shit. I'm applying doing like all kinds of shit, cleaning positions, other customer service positions, other retail positions, blue collar positions. Fuck, I applied to be a interior exterior painter because they said no experience required, we'll train you. Like, I'm trying so hard to do literally anything else, and it feels so crushing and depressing when you feel like you're putting all this effort out and then nothing happens. This is just a rerun. It's been going on of getting these job interviews like a couple weeks ago, getting these job interviews, and then nothing happens. You know, killing it in the interview, having the people say, like, I love what you're doing, love to get you on board, we'll keep you posted, and then just nothing. It's fucking demoralizing. We're working on some shit. We're applying to some other shit. Right now, we're kind of in with like a call center place. Because at this point, I would have no problem just being at my house doing shitter. Customer service, what gets me is just the people and being there face to face, and like the fact that there are regulars of people that I don't look forward to because I know that they're going to be cunty about returns or about prices not coming off or whatever the fuck. I don't want to deal with that anymore. I would love to deal with somebody through the phone remotely. Oh, blah, 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 blah. This didn't happen. I'm like, all right, well, I'm sorry that didn't happen. This is something I like. Just not having to be with these people, not having to go somewhere and get shit on by people. I'm looking forward to that. Like, I would love to get this remote at home position. That would be fucking tits. I'd probably set it up in here or in the other bedroom. I'm done with what I'm doing, bro. I'm burnt out. And it's not just me, it's a bunch of people I'm working with, a bunch of my friends that I'm working with. Like, it's not just me, the way that they've done me, like they've done my coworkers, my friends dirty, like just a lot of disrespectful shit going around. Like, and like there's somebody, I love them to death, but there's somebody who this is their third time quitting and then trying a different job that pays way more and then coming back to their position, and they're automatically getting more hours than the homie who's consistently only been working there and has been asking, hey, can I get more hours? Hey, can I do whatever? This other person literally hits it and quits it 3 different times, getting better paying jobs each fucking time, quitting that shit within 72 hours, and then comes right back, open arms, full schedule, full availability, and there's fuck you to this dude over here who's asking like, hey, can I pick up some shifts? Hey, can I do whatever? Like, it's actually kind of fucking insane. It's actually kind of fucking insane. So it's like, what? What's going on? So in one way, it's kind of relieving knowing that it's not just E, that objectively it actually is a lot harder, because it feels a lot harder, you know? And I mean, nepotism's the reason why I might even have this other job, the career job, is because it was somebody that knows somebody that I know. The fucking job I'm working right now, I got because my sister worked before I did. So it's like, it feels really hard to get somewhere without education or without nepotism. Like, if you don't have the degrees or I guess the experience to get somewhere in a field or in life, then shit's more difficult. And if you just don't know somebody that's in something else, that makes the shit a lot more difficult. So somebody who has a very bare bones background in education and does not know a lot of people, it's fucking hard trying to do this shit. I'm anonymous, bro. And I full well realize every job I've gotten except my first job, I've only worked a handful of jobs. All of them have been nepotism. It was literally because I knew somebody. When I worked at Five Guys, it's literally because I had a homie that was working at Five Guys. Like, yo, I got you. Come work at Five Guys. Then I worked at Five Guys. The grocery store job now, my sister worked there before. She's like, yo, tap in. I'm like, all right, bet. Tapped in. So it's like, ugh. It's just annoying. It's really annoying. But it's also depressing knowing that people can get paper and get degrees and still be in the same position that E's at, where ironically they'd rather have experience in something than the knowledge of something. But it's like, motherfucker, how am I supposed to have experience into something if I don't have the knowledge about it beforehand, you know? Like I spent 4 years getting a degree specializing in this field, but then I look to try and get a job in this field and they're like, yeah, we want at least 2 years of experience for you doing this shit. And it's like, motherfucker, I just got out of school learning how to do this shit. I'm supposed to get the experience through getting a job. And now the job's like, sorry, shitter, should have been doing this before you started doing this. It's like, wait, what the fuck? And even in the video was talking about how minimum wage jobs, like lower level jobs, even those are having these similar issues of like, must have at least 2 years of this, 3 years of this to go work at fucking McDonald's or some shit like that. And it's like, dude, why is it that, like, there isn't a labor shortage? There's a shortage of wanting to pay people for labor. That's what it is. The jobs are there, the work, there's still the demand for the work, but the employers and the companies don't want to pay people what they should for that. And unfortunately, or fortunately for us, unfortunately for those big companies, automation in certain fields isn't caught up yet to where they can just say, fuck people, we're not hiring people, we'll just have straight robots do it. So motherfuckers don't want to hire quality workers to do shit, but then bitch, moan, and complain about how, oh, nobody wants to work. Oh, there's a labor shortage. It's like, no, motherfucker, there ain't a labor shortage. There's a shortage of paying people for their fucking labor. You don't want to pay somebody what they should be paid to live based off of that thing. Well, I'm sorry, shitter. If you want to have a company and you want to employ people, you got to pay them. Fuck, even the bare minimum. Like, I don't. It's just ass backwards. They got people like me, many people in my position, hell, even my homies who are all just desperate and good, hardworking people that want to work and want to find something else, and yet it's so hard to find anything else. Like it's really demoralizing and really depressing because then it's like, well, fuck, I have to go work at a job that I hate tomorrow with people that I despise tomorrow. Fuck, and then the cycle continues, and then next week the schedule comes out, and the next week, and the next week, and the next week, and the next week. But all I know is I have a Suicide Boys concert, Grey Day 2024, and that is in September. I think on the 8th or the 9th. I'm not there. I'm not going to be scheduling time off because I'm not going to be working there. I'm not going to schedule the time off because I'm not going to be there. I'm going to get something else, and I'm going to be gone before September happens because I told myself, I bought these tickets fucking, I don't even know how many months ago. And I was like, I'm not going to be here to the point where I have to request time off in order to go to this. I'm not. I can't, I'm not, I won't, I'm not. So I'm going to plunk in, I'm going to tuck in the next couple of weeks, put in my 2 weeks, and I'm done. If that. I'm at the point, there's certain days and certain shifts and with all this bullshit going on where I don't even want to give these people 2 weeks because it feels like they don't even give me the respect of deserving to get 2 weeks, you know? Shit like I've already explained with scheduling or how they try and just treat us in general sometimes. It's very unprofessional and it makes me not want to work with them or around them or for the company in general. It's just bad all around. It really is. But fuck, even after this pod, I'm gonna go rip on Indeed and Glassdoor and fucking all those ZipRecruiter. I don't go fuck if it's all these ghost things or whatever. I'm gonna apply to 1,500 things because I don't want to jinx myself. So I'm not even gonna put it out there. But let's just say the trend of being ghosted and not getting responses or not even getting like an email back, that trend hasn't been as prevalent as of late. We've at least been getting emails back or updates on applications beyond just well, tell this employer to stand out. You might want to fucking tell this employer blah blah blah, and it has like an automated thing like, hi, I'm E, I'm a shitter, I'm interested in your position. We've gotten more than just that recently of different positions and different kinds of jobs. Because like I said, bro, I've been applying to all kinds of shit. All kinds of shit. And honestly, anything that I could like pass as far as like specs or qualifications or minimum qualifications, I've just been applying for it. Because at this point, I don't really care what it is. Like I'm looking forward to being the pivot of working outside doing fucking heating and cooling in Arizona, my guy. That is how down bad. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I can't wait to start doing is heating and cooling in the summertime in Arizona. That's how down bad I am. That's what I'm waiting for is to go do that bullshit instead of what I'm doing right now. It's just it's just infuriating and annoying. So I should have had a podcast episode uploaded yesterday on Wednesday, but we didn't because unfortunately we had a good time hanging out with the boys, just fucking around on the mountain. But we will basically do that again, but actually record something this time. Whether it be just myself going up there or with some, again, I don't know, but we were in a dope spot too, which is why it kind of annoys me, is that we were at a cool spot and we could have made something out of it. It didn't happen. And we didn't bring, that was another curse thing. We didn't, as we're on the fucking mountain, Nate's like, so you brought something to smoke out of, right? And I was like, motherfucker, you said you were bringing the bong. And then he looks at me and he's like, oh. And at this point, I brought 2 joints and a fuck ton of ground up weed because the plan was he was going to bring the gas mask bong. We're going to do a gas mask bong, and I was going to surprise him with the joints, with the joints. But then motherfucker didn't bring the fucking bong, and we're already up the mountain. Where we were at, if we had to turn around, it would have taken us 45 minutes to get back to the same point. Not fucking worth it. It was already he was already being a shitter. I was telling motherfuckers, I want to be on the mountain or going to the mountain by like noon, 12:30ish. Motherfucker, I didn't even get to Nate's house till like 1:30. I didn't even get to Nate's house till like 1:30. So by the time we're actually going up to the mountain, it's like storming and shit and kind of gloomy. It was already 2 something, 3 something. So I was like, all right, yeah, we're not going back down to sort of shitter bomb just to come back up and do this shit. So that was another reason or another element of like it just being fucked, is like didn't have a bong, so we just had the joints. The joints weren't. It was just. We'll go back and record shit. But it's just a long-winded, gapping way of explaining why we're still here in this background. Because I think for the past like 2 episodes, I'm like, all right, next episode, something different, and then it cuts to episode this one, and it's just E sitting here again. Motherfucker's like, oh, here's E again, same shitter background. I promise. Pinky promises how important it is to me. Pinky promise, next week's episode will be up on the mountain. I promise. I pinky promise. I never break that, okay? I will record up there. We'll get that going. Probably do a WeedTube episode as well. Which, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned it last week or if we did it by the time last week. We uploaded a new episode or a new video on the cannabis channel, Grassroot Rips. We did a hot box with Nate and Stancy, 2 of the guys that we went up to the mountain with yesterday. We hotboxed Nate's Jeep. We had 2 2-gram King Palms, which are basically like 2 2-gram blunts. Then we had 4 joints from the Dispo. So we were smoking 8 grams. I think I titled it 8 grams, 3 guys, 1 hot box, or something like that, or some variation of that. Go check that out. It was a lot of fucking fun. It's actually mad funny, and people are pissed off telling me, like, E, it's a fucking hot box. All right, dude. Half the excitement is when you open the doors at the end. Because I swear to God, I didn't do it on purpose. But as we're busting the doors open to D-Box, I like fat finger the record button. So I stopped recording. Like, it was literally perfect timing. It's like, all right, guys, let's D-Box. We ready? Boom, video cuts off. So motherfucker was like, E, you stopped at like arguably the best point. We didn't even get you to see D-Box it. Because it was getting hard to see Stancy in the back at certain points because it was getting smoky and because of the lighting. So we was like, bro, E, where's the D-Box, bro? And I'm like, listen, I kind of hit stop recording the moment we got out of the car. I'm sorry, I know. But for everyone at home out there, if it makes you feel any better, consolation prize, the D-Box wasn't, even I there in person could barely see anything because there was quite literally a fucking storm approaching us. Like lightning was hitting in the distance. It was super windy. So we bust open the doors and all the wind just instantly just took all of the fucking smoke. Because I was talking about, I'm like, bro, this shit's going to be like a car on fire when a D-Box. So it's going to be crazy. Bust open the door and it just gone. I was like, oh, well, that wasn't that crazy. So then we all stood out because we were sweaty, bro. We had a glaze of fucking sweat. So we're all just fucking panting, flipping our shirts up, standing like this as like the breeze of the monsoon's coming in. We're just like high as hell. It was a great video. Go check it out. Grassroot Rips. I'll link the channel in the description of this video because I don't think linked it here. But yeah, go check out the Weed Tube. First thing we've uploaded since like February or January this year. So definitely go check it out. Next video will also be up there on the mountain, like I said with the podcast. But yeah, that's kind of what we've been up to as of late. We haven't really been. It's literally just been work and being depressed, working all the time, and then streaming. It's actually still makes me upset and sad, but we've already been streaming for over 6 months now. But because I had to work 9 days in a row, I didn't get to like celebrate the 180 days. So every milestone of me streaming, I had done something in my eyes that was at least worthy of that day. So like we done like I know on the 90 day we did like 24-hour streams, and for 120 days we did a fucking like we've done multiple like 24-hour streams and 12-hour streams and 10-hour streams and shit like that. And the 180 days was 6 months, but it was smack dab in the middle of me working all the fucking time. So I didn't even, in my eyes, I didn't even get time to celebrate the fact that I've been streaming every day for 6 months, which I thought was cool. And it upsets me and disappoints me that I didn't get to celebrate that. And then now, by the time I do have time off, it's way too late. Like yesterday was day 184, I believe. Yeah, yesterday was day 184. So it's not like I'm gonna do a 24-hour stream celebrating day 180 fucking 5 days later, you know. But that was just another thing that upset me. Is like that is something I know I should be doing. Like this is something I know I should be doing. I'm not getting paid, or like I'm not financially doing anything from this right now, but I know that'll change in the future. But it just upsets me because like this is what I care about and streaming is what I want to do. But then having this shitter job and obligations and bills and bullshit distracts away from me doing the things that I actually want to do or the things that I care about, you know? So I think I only stream. Ironically, I think I streamed one of my shortest streams ever on my 180. I think I only streamed for like 3 hours. I did a little like a pre-stream before that, like a pre-game stream before that, because I got off at noon. Yeah, I had a shitter schedule. I think that was the 8 to 12 day. I think that was the 8 to 12 day, and then I didn't work until way later the next day. But I hadn't drank. Yeah, that was Saturday. I hadn't drank since like Tuesday or Wednesday. So then I got way too drunk between that 3 hours pregame stream. Then by the time I actually started streaming, and then the homies came over, Pat and Nate came over, just out of the blue. Basically, Buddy was like, "Man, I'm stressed. I need to smoke." And then Buddy goes to the wrong address. He ran out of fucking gas, which is so cartoonish. But he literally ran out of fucking gas. Understandable because his car is fucky, so his like gas gauge or his speed thingy isn't quite accurate. So he thought he had more than he actually did. But Buddy, first of all, he goes to a different address that isn't. This is part of the reason why the VOD wasn't published. Motherfuckers were trying to dox each other, drunk as hell, stupid as shit. They're like, "Is your address blah 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 blah?" Like, kind of doing letters or whatever or numbers close to it, or I'm like, all right, guys, can we just not lightly try and dox each other playing a game of trying to find out? So long story short, throughout the game of lightly doxing each other, Buddy's like, "Oh, do you live at 5831 North Drive?" And I'm like, "Oh, dude, fuck, you doxed me, you got me," like playing it off as a joke. Buddy thought that was real, so he actually goes to 7285 North Drive. And he's like, "Dude, I'm here." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Peeping outside, nobody's here. I'm like, "You're definitely not here." But yeah, I think he broke down on the way to an address that wasn't even actually my address. And then by the time they come over, and then we're getting fucked up and we're smoking, and fuck, I didn't even start streaming until I think till 11 that night. And then by that point, I hadn't been drinking in so long. And at that point, I'd been drinking for probably like solid 10 to 12 hours. I had such a headache. I ended it early. I was like, all right, I'm done with this shit, bro. I'm done. So yeah, ironically, on day 180, I think it's my shortest stream I've ever done, which was just a little over 3 hours. Which, you know, it is what it is. It's in the past now. Nothing I can change. But yeah, I'm looking forward to do something else and being with something else that feels more fulfilling and feels more satisfying. Because, yeah, I've been knowing that this isn't what I want to do. but it's just frustrating knowing that you're doing something you don't want to do, but then feeling like there's, at least right now, there's no way to do something else, or it's harder to find something else to do. Because before, for a lot of my life, especially between 18 and now, it was just floating around, not knowing what I wanted to do and just being complacent, doing shit, not knowing what I wanted to do. But now I've gotten to the point in the past few months where, again, I don't know, ironically, if it's because of becoming 25 and your brain finishing cooking or whatever the fuck, but genuinely over the past few months, there has been a lot more clarity and a lot more sense of knowing what I want to be doing, you know? Because again, I'm not comparing myself to other people as like, oh, that's where E should be at. But I'm just personally not happy with where E's at. I want more for E outside of what everybody else is doing. You know, like, is it trippy and crazy? These motherfuckers like lawyers and real estate people, fucking whatever, professors. Like, yeah, that shit's crazy. But I look at E and E's performance. I'm like, bro, we should not be 25 working at a grocery store. We got to be doing something else, Chief. We got to be doing something else. Now, E in the trades, E being, 25 in the trades, fucking neon green long sleeves, blue jeans, fucking big old boots, dirty ass hands, paint all over. Like, that is more of what I could see E doing, or I guess just being more proud of E in that regard. Something I'd, be more or less embarrassed to tell people. It's not that I'm embarrassed, like, oh, I work at a grocery store, cringe. But I'm just, I look at myself and the idealized version of myself, and I'm at an age where it's like, man, I don't want to be doing this. I don't, it was cute being 18, 19, 20, making shitter minimum wage, getting shit on by management and horrible customers and whatever, and just, oh, I don't know what I want to do with my life. I'm still young. Ugh. But now it's at a point where it's like, nah, B, this ain't cute. This is for the birds. I don't want to be doing this shit. Let's pivot and do something else. So I'm glad I at least have an idea of something else I want to do. It's just now frustrating feeling like it's like, God damn, why is this so hard to do something else? Like, for the longest, I never did anything and that was so easy. But now trying to do something else, and it's like, wait, what the fuck? So that's where we're at right now. Currently just kind of cooking on some stuff, getting back into the weed tube, trying to do that again, because I fuck with the weed tube. That shit was fun. I got so distracted by work and just kind of not burnt out on the weed tube, because that's like one of the, not to say that this isn't fun or streaming's not fun, but it was a channel that I did a lot of like at least so far, I've done like challenge stuff or whatever. But I want to do more like more sessions, more chill stuff, because I think that's what kind of got me turned off from it, was that I think I kept making myself make videos on that channel like a challenge or something crazy or whatever. So then I kind of hit a wall of creativity of like, well, I don't really know what I want to do. So I hadn't really posted in a minute. Like the hot box and everything makes me realize, I'm like, bro, it's WeedTube. I can just post up on a mountain and smoke and talk and hang out. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, It doesn't have to be a fucking smack-a-lan or eating 4,000 milligrams or doing 1,000 grams of RSO or milligrams of RSO. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, It can be a little hot box. It can be a little chat by a river. So I'm gonna get back into the weed tube, start popping off with that again, because that shit's fun, and just get more refined, start upgrading shit. Just really need the new job to come into play so I can focus on that, focus my energy on that, make a little bit more money so I can put it into this and upgrading this, and a lot of different aspects. Okay, I've been yapping for like 45 minutes. We'll end it off with some. I haven't been reading as much as I want to be, so we'll end it off on some reading, because I don't know, I've been slacking on my reading. And you know what? We'll bring the book up there too, and we'll read up on the mountain next week as well. It'll be all, dude. It'll be all picturesque. It'll be like posted up by like a little fucking river or something. Let's be reading and have little river sounds in the background while I'm reading. It's gonna be nice. I'm looking forward to it. So I assume I read the top part, but all right. So I'll read the last paragraph part on this page that continues onto this page. Agrippinus used to say, quote, "I don't add to my troubles," end quote. To illustrate, someone once said to him, quote, "You're being tried in the Senate. Good luck," end quote. But it was 11 in the morning, and at that hour he was in the habit of taking his bath and exercise. Quote, "Let us be off to exercise." When he was done, word came that he had been condemned. Quote, "To exile?" he asked. "Or death?" "Exile." "And my estate, what about that?" "It has not been confiscated." "Well then, let us go to my villa in Aricia and have lunch there." This shows what is possible when we practice what is necessary and make our desire and aversion safe against any setback or adversity. Quote, "I have to die. If it is now, well, then I die now. If later, then now I will take my lunch, since the hour for lunch has arrived. And dying, I will tend to later." Okay, yeah, I remember that. Damn, this is an awesome way to look at shit. And he's like, you know what? I'm getting murked. I ain't getting murked right now. I'm gonna eat this Italian sub, and then we'll worry about getting murked. He's like, I gotta die anyway. But fuck it, it's lunchtime. Let me eat. Oh, it's fire. How, as someone who knows that you have to return what belongs to somebody else. I'm not sure. I guess new chapter thing. One, I, two, how a person can preserve their proper character in any situation. 1. Man, the rational animal, can put up with anything except what seems to him irrational. Whatever is rational is tolerable. Physical hardships are not tolerable by nature. The Spartans, for instance, gladly submit to being whipped because they are taught that it is done for good reason. But what about being hanged? Isn't that intolerable? Well, people frequently go hang themselves, whenever they judge that it is reasonable course of action. In short, reflection will show that people are put off by nothing as much as they think is in short, reflection will show that people are put off by nothing so much as what they think is unreasonable, and attracted to nothing more than what to them seems reasonable. But standards of reasonableness and unreasonableness vary from one person to the next, just as we consider different things, good or bad, harmful or beneficial. Which is why education has no goal more important than bringing our preconception of what is responsible and unresponsible in alignment with nature. But this not only involves weighing the value of externals, it also means considering what agrees with our own individual nature. For one person, it is reasonable to be a bathroom attendant because he only thinks about what punishment and privation lie in wait for him otherwise, and knows that if he accepts the assignment, he will be spared that pain and hardship. Let me write some down before I forget. Whether you want to, whether you need to. Give me one sec. I had to write this down before I forget. I had to write down what we talked about because I will most definitely forget if I don't write it down. Okay. Ooh, whether you want to, whether you do. Okay. Someone else not only finds such a job intolerable for him personally, but finds it intolerable that anyone should have to perform it. But ask me, shall I be a bathroom attendant or not? And I will tell you that earning a living is better than starving to death. So that if you measure your interests by those criteria, go ahead and do it. But it would be beneath my dignity. Well, that is an additional factor that you bring to the question, not me. You are the one who knows yourself, which is to say, you know how much you are worth in your own estimation, and therefore at what price you will sell yourself, because people sell themselves at different rates. That's literally what I'm talking about, bro. That is quite literally what I'm talking about. I feel like the value of myself is more than just what I'm at currently. I feel in myself there is more for myself to be doing for myself than what is currently being done. That there's, yeah, this is literally what I'm talking about. Just recognizing, not out of like pride or dignity or anything, but just out of potential. That's what it is. Like, I just know I have more potential than what I'm doing and what I'm utilizing. And that's what's just frustrating. It's like, fuck, dude, I know what's out there. It's just trying to tap into it, you know? So, for instance, Agrippinus told Florus to go ahead when he was debating whether to attend Nero's festival, maybe even participate. But when Florus asked him why he was not going himself, Agrippinus answered, I don't even consider the possibility. Damn, okay. Taking account of the value of externals, you see, comes at some cost to the value of one's own character. So, if you want to know if life or death is better, the answer I give is life. If you ask about pain versus pleasure, I say pleasure is preferable. But if I refuse to participate in Nero's festival, he will kill me. Go ahead and participate then, but I still refuse. Why? Because you think of yourself as no more than a single thread in a robe, whose duty it is to conform to the mass of people. Just as a single white thread seemingly has no wish to clash with the remainder of the garment. But I aspire to be the purple stripe that is the garment's brilliant hem. However small a part it may be, it can still manage to make the garment as a whole attractive. Don't tell me then, be like the rest, because in that case, I cannot be the purple stripe. See, I'm trying to be a purple stripe, dude. I'm trying to be a purple stripe. Fuck. In his actions, Helvidius Priscus showed his awareness of this principle. When Emperor Vespasian sent him word barring him from the Senate, his response was, You can disqualify me as a senator, but as long as I do remain a member, I must join the assembly. Well, join then, but don't say anything. Don't call on me for my vote, and I won't say anything. But I must call on you for your vote, and I have to give whatever answer I think is right. Answer, and I will kill you. Did I ever say I was immortal? You do your part, and I will do mine. It is your part to kill mine to die without flinching, your part to exile me, mine to leave without protest. Damn. And what did Priscus accomplish, who was but a single man? Well, what good does the purple stripe do the robe? Its luster is a good example to the rest. If it had been someone else in the same situation whom the emperor barred from entering the Senate, he would have probably said, I'm so grateful you can spare me. In fact, the emperor would not have even bothered to bar him, well aware that that man would either sit there like a blockhead, or, if he did speak, would only mouth words he knew that Caesar wanted to hear, and would pile additional inanities on besides. A certain athlete, at risk of dying unless his genitals were amputated, made a comparable choice. His brother, a philosopher, went and asked him, Well, my brother, what is it going to be? Will you have them amputated and return to life in the gymnasium? The man refused to submit to the indignity, however, and summoned the will to die. Someone asked, Did he choose death as an athlete or as a philosopher? As a man, Epictetus said, one who had competed at the level of the Olympic Games, where he was a familiar figure and a victor more than once, no occasional visitor to the local gym. Someone else might have even allowed his head to be removed in his life and could have been saved thereby. That's what I mean by having consideration for one's character, and it shows how weighty a factor it can be when it's allowed a regular role in one's deliberations. Come, Epictetus, shave off your beard. If I'm a philosopher, I will not shave it off, but I will cut your head off. I will cut off your head. If that will do you any good, then cut it off. Yes, Mom. Oh, just getting kitty food. They could probably hear you whispering, and I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
5 hours later.
It hasn't even been an hour. Oh my gosh. All right. Someone asked, but how do we know what is in keeping with our character? Well, how does the bull realize its own strength, rushing out to protect the whole herd when a lion attacks? The possession of a particular talent is instinctively sensed by its owner. So, if any of you are so blessed, you will be the first to know it. It is true, however, that no bull reaches maturity in an instant, nor do men become heroes overnight. We must endure a winter training and can't be dashing into situations for which we aren't yet prepared. Consider at what price you will sell your integrity, but please, for God's sake, don't sell it cheap. The grand gesture, the ultimate sacrifice, that, perhaps, belongs to others, to people of Socrates' class. But if we are endowed by nature with the potential for greatness, why do only some of us achieve it? Well, do all horses become stallions? Are all dogs greyhounds? Even if I lack the talent, I will not abandon the effort on that account. Epictetus will not be better than Socrates, but if I am no worse, I am satisfied. I mean, I will never be Milo either. Nevertheless, I don't neglect my body, nor will I be another Croesus, and still I don't neglect my property. In short, we do not abandon any discipline for despair of ever being the best in it. Bars, bro. That's some little bitty baby bars right there. That's some little bitty baby bars. I know we didn't read too crazy. We'll crack into a lot more on the mountain. We'll crack into a lot more of it because it'll be scenic and post it up, and it'll be perfect. It'll be perfect. So look forward to more Epictetus in the near future next week. We're clocking in pretty decent. What are we? Just under an hour, probably, like 50 something minutes, 55 something minutes, like that. I appreciate y'all as always for being tapped in. If you made it this far, comment. Uh, Fuck, I don't know. Comment. Penny. Comment Penny. Penny. Penny, like a little penny, like the thing Abe Lincoln's on. Little penny. Fuck it. If you made it this far, type in penny. Or if there's a coin emoji, like a penny or something, throw up the little penny emoji. I appreciate y'all as always, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.